Hello and welcome to another episode of WBGU Cooks. I'm your host Tina Simon, and today we are creating fantastic recipes with Falcon Foodies. These guests are the chefs and cuisine enthusiasts of Bowling Green State University. Here with me is Cecilia Castellano, Vice President for Enrollment. Cecilia, what are we making today?
Hi, Tina.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you for having me. So I'm going to make a family dish called Sputini. It's an Italian dish. It's traditionally a Sicilian dish, and my father and my father's family is Sicilian, and so I'm going to make a family recipe.
So you're going to teach us how to, quick and easy?
It's super quick and easy, and that's what I like when I cook, is I like things that are easy and also can be prepped ahead of time.
It's a great, elegant dish that takes no time.
It is. I'm super excited to show it to you all.
Well, let's get started. And this is your handy dandy little chopper.
So I like this food chopper. If you don't have a food chopper, this is one thing I think you should have. So when you are cooking, I've already cut up the celery. You need 1 cup of celery, and then I usually just chop.
That does do a nice job.
Yep.
So do you use just onions, pretty much anything?
So for the filling, we're going to use a cup of celery and a cup of onion, and then some Italian diced and chopped tomatoes, which I buy in a can ahead of time and drain them. And so the first step is to just chop up your celery and you boil it for just a couple minutes so that it gets tender, and then we'll saute the onions. So I'm going to chop this up for you.
So when you have this for holiday, is it an Italian theme?
It is.
That's because a lot of people do that. Even if you're not Italian, I've heard of people that make what. So what else do you serve with it?
Yep. So I like to serve this, and this is actually ready to go in. You're going to want to chop it, as fine or as chunky as you want, and this is ready to go in.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put that in, and then we can talk a little more.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you make? Do you make homemade pasta?
I don't make homemade pasta, but I do make homemade sauce. So I like to get a pot of sauce going in the morning of the day of the event, and then you just add in whatever ingredients you want to the sauce. And I'll always serve this with a side of pasta, right? And so this will boil
for a little bit,
and then I always serve it with a little bit of a side of peas. In my family, you always have peas with every Italian.
Is that an Italian thing?
It is in my Sicilian family, but and that's usually what we serve on Christmas.
So do you want to do the onion now? Is that what we're gonna
go ahead and do the onion?
This works too, right?
So this
I hate chopping onions.
This also works for onion. It's fantastic.
So we had a cup of celery here, and how much onion are we gonna put in?
We're gonna do a cup of onion as well, right?
And you just chop it up into chunks that would.
Yep. So I cut it down a little bit. You can leave it chunkier, but I've found that it's easier.
And then the more you chop, the
finer it gets, right? So.
Yeah, that is.
Yep, and if you don't have a food chopper, you can just dice it. I'm always in a rush. I'm always busy, so I find.
Plus, you don't get the tears then. That's the thing with the onion. It's the tears.
It is. So I'm told if you cut an onion from the root side, you won't get as many tears, but I usually cry every time I cut an onion. Okay, so this is also ready, and I think the celery's ready if we want to
go ahead.
Here we're gonna. And I need a little. You just take a little bit of olive oil.
Olive oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're gonna get this going.
Low, high.
Okay, so put this on maybe medium. If you have a gas, you can just turn it on medium a little bit ahead of time, and on an electric stove. Just drizzle in some olive oil, as much as you want to use. Probably just, I would say a tablespoon and a half.
Okay.
I'm kind of bad about measuring now because I know the recipe by heart.
Which is good. That's,
And so we're just going to take the onion and get it in there to saute it. The celery's boiled, and so the celery is going to be tender, and that's just why you boil that celery. One thing I love about this dish is that it's really colorful. Once we get this sauteed for a little bit, and we'll add the diced tomatoes in there, it's really colorful.
So then how long? You just saute it until it gets soft?
Yep. We're going to saute it till it gets soft, and you'll see the onions change colors a little bit, and it'll be good to go.
So how did you get to BGSU?
Yeah, so actually I came to Bowling Green from Dayton, Ohio. I grew up down there, and when I chose BGSU, I took a campus tour and loved it and fell in love. And I came up to Bowling Green in '86, and I moved into one of the residence halls. And I moved into McDonald, which is a residence hall on campus. And we, my parents, they helped move me in. And when they were leaving, they said, "Hey, don't come home for a while. We want you to get used to being in college." Thankfully, I did graduate 4 years later.
Good. So it looks like your sauteing is good.
Yeah, I think so. The onions are done, and the celery looks tender. And so what you're going to do is take a 28-ounce can of Italian chopped tomatoes. Find a flavor that you like. You can also use them without the Italian seasoning. Just strain it ahead of time and you just add it in there. This is my favorite part because it gets so colorful. And I love anything with vegetables, and the more vegetables, the better. It's better for you. Yes. And I think the colors, I love just.
It smells awesome.
It does. It smells really good. The great thing about this recipe is if you want to change it up or add a different filling, the Sputini just means meat, like veal. It's traditionally made with veal. We're using eye of round because I don't usually cook with veal, but you can stuff it with anything. It's basically stuffed meat. So you can, if you want to add garlic in this, or you want to use, you want to throw some spinach in here. What's so great is you can just change it to whatever you have. So
this, how long does this cook
this
then?
is going to saute for about 10 minutes, and just to kind of get the flavors together, and you want to have the tomatoes are cooked. So that will saute for 10 minutes.
And then we will get the meat, and you want to start.
So after this is sauteed, you're going to add in a cup of breadcrumb. And again, I use the Italian seasoned breadcrumb. But if you don't want the Italian seasoned, you can use plain breadcrumb. My mom actually uses plain breadcrumb for whatever reason, but I like the Italian. And then a cup of Parmesan cheese, or you can use the Parmesan and Reggiano cheese. I use it finely grated to throw it in there, but you also could use the shredded. So we'll do that, and that'll make the filling. So it's really easy. Once you have everything chopped, it just kind of takes over from there, and it's starting to simmer nice right here.
Okay, well, so why don't we go ahead and add.
Yep, so you just add the cup of breadcrumbs, and you'll see it'll start to thicken up a little bit.
And this you use but you can use fresh.
Yeah, so I have the grated, but you can use the shredded if you want. You can use fresh. Again, I like things quick and easy.
Really does thicken up
and it just thickens up really, really nicely. And so this is going to be our filling, and we're going to.
So you said eye of round, and tell me about this, because this means something. You do something special with this.
So I have a great butcher that I call that has come to know me. I usually get eye of round, and for one tray, we're going to make a full cookie sheet. We use you need about 2.5 pounds.
And that serves.
That will probably serve 8 or 9 adults. The trick is to get the butcher to slice the meat about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thin, because that way they cook quickly and they kind of melt in your mouth. You don't want them too thick. So if you want to double the recipe, and usually when I make this, I double the recipe because then you can freeze it. And so you'll have, so I'll make it at Christmas, then I'll bring it out again and have people over in January, and they'll think they're very special because I've made this fantastic meal. So so this is great and ready to be.
So let's see how you put all this together. I'll grab a cookie sheet.
So what we're going to do, and so we've sprayed the cookie sheet with cooking spray or an olive oil cooking spray. You're going to take breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese and just mix them together. You can use as much or as little as you want. This will be coat the outside, and we have some olive oil in this for dipping. And so we're going to need a little spoon for this filling. And so the cut of meat, again, eye around, it's cut about 1/2 inch thin.
And it needs to, I'm assuming it needs to be eye round. Is that?
I've always used eye of round. If there's a different cut of meat that your butcher recommends or that you're aware, you could try. Like in Sicily, it's actually made with veal. And I typically don't eat veal. I just have never cooked with veal, but you can do it with veal. You're just going to take about a tablespoon and put it in the center, and then you roll it. And it's kind of fun to do. When my girls were little, they would help me roll it. Now they just sit around and watch me. But then you've got it kind of rolled together. You pinch it together. You just dip it in the olive oil. This is where you get a little messy.
And that's okay.
And then you dredge it in the flour, or in the breadcrumb and the cheese mixture. And that's it. And you just lay it down.
So we're going to roll a couple more.
We're going to roll a couple more. Yep.
So you are in charge of enrollment at BGSU. So that means you know all the good stuff about BGSU. So tell our viewers why they should come to BGSU, why they should encourage their children, grandchildren, neighbors, friends.
So I think Bowling Green, we really pride ourselves on a community where you can belong, and we have small personalized classes. Our faculty are really engaged with students. You can get involved in your passions or find new passions. There's over 350 student organizations. We have 200 majors. We also say that you can stand out. So when you're ready to really shine, you want to maybe do an internship or you want to do research.
In fact, which is how we do what we do here with
That's
students
right.
that are behind the camera.
That's
in
right.
fact, today we have students behind
Yes.
the camera. So.
Yes, you can get involved in that, and then we prepare our students for life to go far. And so we have alumni, 185,000 alumni all over the world. They're doing good in their community. They're excelling in their careers. We have a great opportunity for students to graduate in 4 years, having had a robust experience both in and outside of the classroom. We have strong academic programs, 200 different majors, great honors college. So I would encourage anyone who's thinking about it.
And a large university in a small town,
Yes.
a small setting.
Well,
That's
and the
what I think
community
is,
of Bowling
yes,
Green.
yes.
I love Bowling Green, Ohio.
Yes.
It's just become home, and I think it's a great environment. You can walk to downtown
Yes,
Bowling Green,
right.
but then you're close to a bigger city
that's
if you
right,
want to
yeah.
go up to Toledo or an hour from Detroit. So there's a lot of opportunity, and so yeah.
Okay, well, let's finish. I'm anxious to try this.
Yeah.
So we would fill all this up. Now then what?
Yeah, so this is great. We would fill this tray. You can freeze these if you want to make them ahead of time and just put some foil down and
Okay.
cover them with foil and freeze them. When you take them out, put them back on the tray and cook them, and you bake them in the oven at 375. You bake them for about 10 minutes, and then you flip them over. If they're frozen, they might take a little bit longer. You flip them over, and they're ready to serve.
Okay, well, we have some that have
We
already
do.
been cooked, so
Yes.
here are the pot holders. If you
Great.
get those out,
Okay.
I'm going to get a plate so that we can taste. As you notice, orange
I do.
BGSU.
I love
Orange
the
plates,
orange. I
orange
love the
knife.
Do you want to give me that
Yes.
pot holder
Yes.
there? And we'll set this down.
Okay, and I'll let you
Yep.
do the honors.
Yeah, so they have fallen apart if you start, and I turned them. So if you start with them upside, you can get them down, but they're just as good. Yep, there you go.
So
Tina.
you say that
They're-
these melt in your mouth.
They should melt in your mouth if everything went well.
Okay, well, I'm going to taste it.
Very hot. They're really good. Yeah.
That is awesome.
good.
Quick,
Yes.
easy, elegant for a dinner
Yes.
party. Make it with some pasta.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you, Cecilia. I'm so
you.
happy you joined us
Thank
today
you.
and sharing your delicious family recipe. Stick around. We'll be right back with another Falcon Foodie here on WBGU Cooks.